Hello, welcome to the Unit 6 test corrections on algebraic properties and expressions. Alright, our first problem is 6 to the power of 2 divided by the quantity or the sum of 3 and 1/10 plus 23 hundredths plus 2 to the quantity of 5 plus 3. So for this problem, we're going to start off, we're going to use order of operations. So parentheses goes first, so we're going to start right here and do our first parentheses, and I'm going to come to my side to show my work. So in my parentheses I have 3.33, and I'm going to keep it there for right now, and I'm going to go ahead and do this parentheses as well, and I'm going to bring down my 6 to the power of 2. Next up is your exponent, so 6 times 6, which is 36, divided by 3.33 plus, and I'm going to go ahead and take care of my multiplication now because it's not going to break any rules. Let me just wait. Let me wait, sorry. Alright, so next we need to divide 36 divided by 3.33. So I'm going to come over here. And I've got to move my decimal 2 places to the right to get this to a whole number, and so I'm multiplying by 100. So I need to do the same thing to my dividend. And now my decimal is here, and I'm going to bring my decimal up in my quotient. 333 goes into 360 one time. When I subtract, bring down, 333 does not go into 270. So I'm going to add 3 zeros, bring down. So now 333 goes into 2700. I'm going to estimate, I know it doesn't go in there 9 times, that's going to be too much because 9 times 3 is it's going to be that. So I'm going to go with 8 times. Okay, so now I have 2,500 and 2,504. So when I subtract, and bring down, and for the sake of this problem and for the sake of timing, I'm going to stop here. I think if you went further, it was going to be 818 or something pretty close to that. So I apologize for stopping, but I want to move on to the rest of the test. So 10.8 plus 16, that's a 6, and that's going to be 26.8. Let me neaten that up. So 26.8. Alright, our next problem says Alex has $1,500 and she invested in stock. In one day, her money was doubled, which is huge. The next day, she got a profit of $165 and later loss of $238. Write an expression for this amount and determine the present amount. So she started off with $1,500, and in one day, this doubled. So I'm going to do times 2 because that represents doubling. The next day, she got a profit of $165. So that's again a positive thing. And then later she lost $238. So right now, this is your expression. And then a lot of you did that, but you didn't continue to tell me how much she made. And so we're going to figure that out right now. So following order of operations still. So she's going to have $2,927 in her account. Number 3, Jim spent 5/6 of an hour doing chores. He spent 2/3 of that time washing dishes. What fraction of an hour did he spend washing dishes? So to clarify, he's spending 5/6 of an hour working. So to figure out how much of, so he's not working for the whole hour on chores, he's working 5/6 of the hour. To figure out how much of that he's washing dishes, it says he spent 2/3 of this time. And that's the key word to indicate that we are multiplying here. Because we want to find the part of this. So when we do that, we multiply straight across. When we're multiplying, we don't have to have common denominators. And we get 10/18. We have to reduce. They both have a 2 in common. So that equals to 5/9 of an hour. So make sure when you finish, you ask yourself if your answer makes sense. A lot of you had something larger than 1 whole, and that's just not possible if you didn't even spend an entire hour doing chores. Number 4, Lisa had some wood that was 12.5 feet long. She cut it into 5 equal pieces. How long is each piece of wood? So we have a whole, or we consider the whole in this problem, and we're making it into parts. So that's a division problem. So 12.5 divided by 5. And when we're dividing fractions, I'm going to go and make it into an improper fraction. So that's going to be 12 times 2 is 24, plus 1 more is 25 over 2. Sorry about the problem. I think it disappeared for a second. Divided by 5. And I can't leave it, when I'm dividing fractions, I have to find the reciprocal of my second fraction and divide by that, or multiply by that, sorry. So it's going to be 12 times 25 over 2 times 1/5. So that's going to be 25 over 10, and that's going to equal to 2 1/2. So my question is, each piece is going to be 2.5 feet long. So again, sorry about that problem. Alright, number 5. Jane has a summer job delivering newspapers. She gets paid $15 per hour plus a $10 bonus for completing the route each day. Write an expression to represent how much money Jane will make each day. So I accepted a couple of different answers. What I was looking for was $15 times H, because she makes $15 per hour. So if she works 6 hours today, I can substitute in 6 hours. And then if she finishes her entire route, then she gets an extra $10. So that is your answer for this problem. Some people did say they substituted an H for 12 or 24 or some number of hours. That's not entirely true because it doesn't tell you how many hours she worked. It just says she worked some hours. So next time, this is what you need to do. Kelsey had 67 old copies of Tiger Beat. She traded in several of them at Bookman Used Bookstore. If she has 23 copies left, which expression can you use to find M, the number of magazines she traded in? So this one, we're kind of working backwards. We know she has 23 left, so we need to figure out how many she actually traded. So she had 67, and then she gave the bookstore some magazines, and then that leaves her with 23 total. Again, I gave some half credit if you gave some semblance of this, but this is all I was wanting you to do, is to find the expression or equation. Write an expression to represent each of the following. 38 less than a number. So this is going to be x minus 38, because 38 is less than the x. 5 more than the quotient of 2 and b. So we have our coefficient and variable together, and we have 5 more than that. So again, remember, when we have less than, more than, and subtracted from, they always get flipped over. The product of a number and 14, so 14 and a number. So again, your coefficient goes in the front of the variable. I did accept if people put x and 14, but that's really not where we need to go. The difference of 7 and p multiplied by the difference of 11 and q. Again, on this one, some people did not put parentheses around the second quantity. And when you don't put a parentheses here, so let me take this away so I can show you what I'm talking about. When you don't have, oops, when you don't have this parentheses here, this now says that the quantity of this is multiplied by 11, and then we take away Q. And that's not what we're intending here. So a lot of you got that wrong because you didn't have the quotations around the second set. Write a verbal expression for the following expressions. So this one can be 14 more than a number, or this could be the sum of a number and 14. Again, you're looking for those 6th grade math terms, okay? So sum would be 1. 150s, so this is going to be the product of 150 and a number, or s multiplied, or 150 multiplied by s if you're wanting to go about. I think this is your best answer. So this one is 5 times the sum of a number and another number. So I would look for the product of, let's go with that, the product of 5 and the sum of a number and another number. By saying another number, it indicates that there's 2 different variables, just to be a little bit clear. The last one would be 9 less than the quotient of 8 and a number. All right. Number 15, use the distributive property to rewrite the expression. So again, that distributive property means the coefficient, the number in the front, I'm sorry, gets multiplied to both parts. So this is going to be 4y plus 4 times 7. If you went ahead and solved further, then this was where you got, but at the minimum, I was wanting you to indicate that. Number 16, simplify the expression. So we have to combine our like terms. So we have r's and we have constants. So I'm going to look at my r's first. We have 5 plus 9, which is 14 r's. Take away 1 r, so that's going to be 13 r's. And then we have our constants of 7 positive ones, 5 negative ones. So 7 minus 5 is 2. Sorry, positive 2. It's a positive 7. I apologize. Number 17, simplify the expression. So again, I got my constants here, and I've got my variables here, and my variables are the same. So that's going to be 12 plus 10b. Alright, number 18, simplify the expression. So again, we're following our order of operations. We can't do anything in the parentheses right now because we don't have like terms. So we move on to exponents, then multiplying and dividing. Well, we do have multiplying because we have some distributive property here. So 10 times 3x is 30x. 10 times 5 is 50. And then bring down the rest of the problem. And now I don't have any other multiplying or dividing to do, so I'm going to combine my like terms. And I've got x's and I've got a constant. So 30x, take away 2 x's, and that leaves me with 28 x's and 50 as a constant. Number 19, evaluate each algebraic expression using the given replacements. So this is my expression. I'm going to substitute in these values for every time I see that letter. So I've got 2 times b, which is 5, minus c, which is 8, plus 2 times a, which is 2, minus 2. So parentheses goes first. There's nothing I can do right now. I can over here. And 2 minus 2 is 0. And bring down the rest of my problem. And 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 5 is 10. And when we do that, 10 minus 8 is 2, and then there's nothing here, so it's just 2. A lot of people forgot, they distributed instead of simplifying, which is fine, but they forgot to do this one also. They only distributed to the first one. Number 20, evaluate each expression using the given values. So b is 5, so it's going to be 5 squared plus 9 squared minus c, which is 8. So 5 squared is 25, 9 squared is 81, and we take away 8. So 25 plus 81 is 106 minus 8, and that's going to equal 98. Identify each part of the algebraic expression y plus 3m plus 8. Y is our variable, as is m. 3 is a coefficient. That's the number that goes in front of the variable that tells you how many times that variable occurs. What is the constant? We only have one constant in this problem, and that is the 8. And how many terms are there? We have 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms. Name the property. And again, sorry about the font. So for the first one we have the commutative because we have our numbers just in a different order, but they're the same numbers. The next one we have our same exact numbers, that just the grouping is different, so that's our associative. For the 27, we're looking at the distributive property because we have our 6 represented in both parts, and that's, being given to both parts of this problem. For this one, we're looking at the commutative again. And same for the last one, commutative. And that's problem 29. Alright, problem 30. Using the expression 4 times the quantity of A divided by B to the power of C, what are the values? So which one's the greatest one? So for this one you had to basically solve all 4 problems and get the right one, get the correct answer before you got credit for it. So I'm going to start over here with letter A, and I'm going to write the expression. Alright, so 4 times the quantity of 6 divided by 3 and the power of 2. So parentheses goes first, so 6 divided by 3 is 2. Exponent goes next, so 2 to the power of 2 is 4. And then 4 times 4 is 16. For problem B, same expression, but different values. So 4 times the quantity of 6 divided by 2 to the power of 2, sorry, power of 3 this time, sorry. There. So 6 divided by 2 is 3, power of 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. And bring down the 4. 4 times 27 is equal to 108. So we're getting better. So now we know that A is wrong because B is higher than A. So letter C, again the same expression. And C has 12 divided by 6 to the power of 5. 12 divided by 6 is 2 to the power of 5. And again, that exponent goes to the parentheses to that number previously, not to the 4 as well. So 2 to the 5th power. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. So 32 times 4 is 100 something. Hold on one second. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. Okay, that's right. And then my last one is letter D. And that's going to be 4. So that's going to be a power of 36. I mean, not power, the answer of 36. So if you had C correct and you had 128, then you got credit for this problem. But if you did not have that and you had your power all messed up, because a lot of people said 4 times 2 is 8 and then did 8 to the power of 5, but that's not the way you do it. It is not multiply before exponents. Exponents go first. Got it? Alright, actually let me fix that like the Spanish languages. I like the way they do theirs. Hold on. Upside down. That way you know from the very beginning that I'm yelling at you. So not multiplying before exponents. If you have any further questions, come see me during Focus. Your retest is going to be posted on Edmodo, so it'll be next week most likely.